Hey, travel fans! Welcome to RTE Travel Talk, Ask a Real Travel Expert, the show that talks to travel professionals around the world. I have something special for you and very near and dear to my heart today. Today, I'm joined by Mindy Baker, a Disney cruise expert with Wheels Up Travel Co., and we are going to share some of our personal experiences on Disney cruises. If you haven't been on a Disney cruise line yet or are trying to decide between a Disney cruise or a park visit, then this interview is jammed with great information and tips. Be sure to stay with us as Mindy and I reveal some of the magic that makes Disney a one-of-a-kind cruise line. If you enjoy this journey with us today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. A thumbs up is really appreciated, and it helps folks just like you to find our content. And if, like me, you have a soft spot for Disney cruises, be sure to drop a comment. I would love to hear from you. And now, on with the show. Hi, Mindy. Welcome to RTE Travel Talk.
Hi, Ken. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. And I've been really looking forward to talking to you today as it gives me a chance to revisit one of my favorite cruises of all time aboard the Disney Magic. Now, I know you're a Disney expert and have personally sailed on the Disney Wish and the Disney Dream. So I was hoping today that you and I could highlight for our viewers and listeners just what some of the differences are between all of these ships, and we could talk a little bit more about Disney cruises. How does that sound?
That sounds magical.
Super. So why don't we start with an overview as to why one should choose a Disney cruise?
I think as far as why one should choose a Disney cruise, the reasons are really endless. Disney Cruise Line's motto is "Where the magic meets the sea," and I really couldn't say it better myself. I know. I think we cruisers love the magic of the sea itself,
Yeah.
but when you add the nostalgia of Disney and the premium level experience, once you take a Disney cruise, I think you'll be Captain Hooked. So the ships themselves are enchanting with not only the beauty, the technology, and the entertainment of like the Disney parks, but yet they're a smaller, more intimate scale. So while some may think of Disney as being for children or families, or you may think of it as chaotic and overrun like the theme parks, that's definitely not the case with the cruise ships. These ships are massive, and the broad entertainment offered throughout the ship really provides like ample space for everyone. So there are tons of adult only spaces. And in case you're wondering, Ken, a good percentage of DCL passengers are actually adults with no kids. So the ships offer many sophisticated spaces, but better yet is the service you know you're going to get with Disney. So you can expect unparalleled customer service, cleanliness, class, and destination ports worldwide with the best of port excursions. So some features that are common across Disney Cruise Line ships include the world famous Disney hospitality that you're going to get, the Broadway quality live shows, Disney themed dining, character experiences, Disney statues and characters throughout the ship, and then just the beautiful vintage decor inspired by the 1920s and 30s. So there's a very classic vintage vibe on board, and it truly does set Disney ships apart from many other cruise lines. And then lastly, this is just the perfect vacation for multi-generational families looking to spend quality time together, but also maybe break away for some age-appropriate time and entertainment. Lastly, Disney also offers a rewards program for return guests known as the Castaway Club, which offers really lovely perks as well.
Basically, the only requirement is it's for the young and the young at heart.
There's something for everyone.
It's interesting, Christy, you mentioned that they have kind of like a 30s, 40s vibe. I definitely noticed that on the Disney Magic that we were on. So that theme carries across the entire fleet?
It does. Very nautical themed.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people envision is very Disney themed, but they've taken a classic vintage decor and integrated Disney throughout that decor. So what they refer to as hidden Mickeys, you'll see a beautiful tapestry, and every now and again you'll see the outline of Mickey Mouse or another character integrated into this design. So they just do such a terrific job making you feel like you're on a beautiful vintage ship, but also knowing that there's a little Disney magic behind it all.
Absolutely. So do they still announce you when you come on board?
They do, they do.
It makes you
They
feel
announce.
special.
Yes, it really does. It's very sweet. And then, of course, there's, Prince Charming and Cinderella or whoever it may be up at the top of the atrium welcoming you as well. So lots of character experiences to be had.
Fantastic, fantastic. So why don't we take a look at these three ships? Like I said, I sailed on the Disney Magic, which is probably one of the older ships in fleet. It was just wonderful, just a beautiful size. Tell us a little bit about your experiences on the Dream and the Wish.
There are actually three different classes currently with the Disney Cruise Line ships. The Magic has a sister ship, which is the Wonder.
Right.
And they're the smallest, and they have 11 decks and hold about 2,700 passengers. This is actually a fan favorite among many return Disney guests just because of the smaller, more intimate experience you get on these smaller ships.
Yep.
So the next class is the Disney Dream and the Fantasy, their sister ships. They're going to be bigger. They're going to come in at 14 decks and hold about 4,000 passengers. And then the newest ship in the fleet is the Wish, but the Treasure is set to set sail in just a few days on the 21st, and that is the newest class sister ships. They are also 14 decks. They're going to hold about 4,000 passengers, but they are going to be much bigger overall and just have a lot more exciting technology on board, a lot more exciting theming. So what we experienced between the Dream and the Wish was classic Disney feel with vintage Disney magical vibes throughout, wonderful service, wonderful amenities. But I would say the differences with the Wish, you could feel the newness, you could feel the new technologies, you
Yep.
could feel the new designs, the modern designs, but throughout is still the same classic vintage Disney vibe.
One thing I noticed when we were on the Disney Magic, like you said, it's 2,700 passengers. That's not, in this day and age, that is not a lot of passengers. That's a nice size ship. And even when you get up into the Wish and the Dream at 4,000, again, that's not a lot of people. And
Yeah.
it certainly doesn't feel crowded.
That's right. I think they do a great job
Yeah.
of really having expansive spaces and really building entertainment into every segment of the ship.
Yeah.
There's space for everybody. You never feel like you're crowded. And there's just so much to do that people are going to pick and choose the space they want to be in. Plenty for all to do.
Let's talk about the staterooms. Are there differences between the ships when it comes to the staterooms? I know the stateroom that we had on the Disney Magic was wonderful because it had all kinds of room for families. And as memory serves, you had two bathrooms.
But yes, those rooms do have a split bathroom. So that's a great amenity no matter how many people you have in the room, right?
Exactly.
So one of the bathrooms is going to host the bathtub shower combo and a sink. The other bathroom is going to host the toilet and the sink. That is just a really nice perk so that you can keep the flow of getting ready for your next activity going with a family, or just have that nice extra space for a couple.
Exactly, because it lends itself to having your family with you in one stateroom, right? By
Yes, yes.
having the kids, the staterooms are designed in such a fashion that it's comfortable.
To add to that, they have a lovely thick curtain that you can partition the room with to separate the main bed from the berths. So that can, help accommodate, privacy, but also different bedtimes, and just really helps with the family situation. Of course, you can do connecting staterooms, and they do have, of course, the typical choices of inside, ocean view, and veranda staterooms. So all of these can connect. You can choose a deluxe family stateroom that does offer a little more room and a fourth berth. And then you can always pre-arrange things like railings for those berths if you have kiddos in the room with you. And then what I do love about a couple things I love about the staterooms on Disney. One is that they're really quiet. I've never heard a neighbor, and then the verandas are really quiet as well. It's just a really nice, quiet place to escape.
Yeah.
You can also expect unlimited Disney streaming from your stateroom. So right on the TV there, and then wake up calls. You can schedule those from Captain Mickey himself. You can also have free room service. Then on top of all of these wonderful amenities, Disney does offer a concierge level stateroom as well. These again are going to vary by ship class, but there are incredible staterooms to be had, including the new Tower Suite on the Disney Wish, which is actually in one of the funnels. So very large, very expansive. And then there are also concierge rooms like 1 and 2 story royal suites, 1 and 2 bedroom suites, and several other categories within the concierge level staterooms as well. Concierge suites, it does provide some really nice perks such as dedicated concierge service, early access to booking activities like onboard
Right.
and port excursions, and then things like a private lounge and a sun deck and pool, depending on the ship, and then like things like priority boarding, reserved theater seating, so exclusive character meet and greets. Concierge is always a nice upgraded level to choose.
And really based on your level of affordability. On board the Magic, my daughter and her daughter, they had an inside, and it was a nice
Okay.
size. So no matter what, the most important thing is to get on board the ship so you can experience all the good things that come with it. Yeah.
I agree. I think that, it all depends on your goals.
Yep. So when we were on board the Magic, as memory serves, there were three main dining restaurants, and we rotated around, and that was just absolutely fantastic. Is that how it works on the other ships? I think.
Yes, it is actually. They still use that method, which is wonderful because your serving staff, they follow you to
Yeah.
those restaurants as well. So they're going to, learn to know what you and your children like or grandchildren. For my son, they had his milk ready and waiting
Yeah.
and his coloring pages. They get to know you, and they really are personable and sweet, and they know that you are there to experience this magical experience, and they don't let you down. But I do love also that the menu typically plays off of the restaurant theming. So,
Right.
so for example, on the Wish, when we dined at Arendelle, which was a frozen dining adventure with the frozen characters, there were several Nordic dishes on the menu, such as smoked fjord trout and pinko-crusted Icelandic cod fillet, and they were absolutely delicious. So we love that they pair the theme with the menu, which never disappoints.
But for the kids that are going to look at smoked cod and say, I don't want that, they always have the world famous Disney mac and cheese available probably in every restaurant, right?
Absolutely. Yes, the kids menu goes to each restaurant and they get their dinner served on the most adorable Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
plate that has, the ears are compartments and his face is a compartment, and the serving staff will even cut the food for the kids. So they really go above and
You
beyond
know,
to, you know,
I have to think that it was one of the things that really made it special when we were on board Magic is having your serving staff follow you from restaurant to restaurant. Because just like you said, they get to know you. And more importantly, they get to know if you've got kids along, they get to know those kids. We were seated with another couple, and he had a 4-year-old about the same age as my granddaughter, and they got along famously. And the servers, they made it really, really special for them. So from dining room to dining room to dining room, it makes a big difference, in my opinion.
It really does. Yeah. We had a similar experience where we were sat at a table with a child of a similar age as my
Mm.
son and really grew close to the family. I mean, you're dining together for a week,
Yep.
and you get to hear about what the other family did and get ideas off of that. And on top of that, the servers, they go above and beyond. They'll tell you what's the best places to visit at each port. They'll tell you where to go to eat. They'll tell you, they gave our kids, like one of our serving staff gave my son adorable origami animals every night, so they were really going above and beyond, and we just love that about them. And they know that the kids are going to get tired over the course of the cruise, and they might take a nap during dinner, and they're okay with that. They'll box the food to go or send ice cream to go. So they're
Let's talk about some of the signature attractions on board. Now, since we were on board with our granddaughter, we spent a lot of time at Goofy's pool, but they also had a wonderful adults area, which provided my daughter with some really much needed and valuable me time. It was great. How did you find it?
Yes. Okay. The adult areas are wonderful. It's a great time out for moms and dads and adults alike. So it's a tough question, though, as
Mm.
far as like choosing what your favorite areas in the ship are. We just have so many favorite spots. But Maxton, my son, his favorite area is pretty easy. Hands down, it's the Oceaneer Club and Oceaneer Lab. So
Yeah.
there were times where we would have to actually lure him out and and feed him pizza and milk in a porthole outside the Oceaneer Club just so we could lay eyes on him, make sure he was alive and well, and back off he would go. He was just enchanted in the Oceaneer Club, so he loved every moment of that. I think one of my mom's favorite areas was just being out on the veranda. My husband, he really loves sports, so he loved the Hero Zone on board the Wish, and then that would be similar on board the Dream, like the Goofy's Sports Complex. The Dream and Fantasy have these, and here you could play like basketball, table tennis. There were golf simulators and tons of other like sports activities. So he loved those areas. But for me, I think one of my favorite spots was the rainforest. So the rainforest is a special area inside the spa, and it has several experiences, such as hot tubs that are on a glass enclosed deck. Then they have seated lounge chairs facing the water. Then there's like 2 steam rooms and 4 shower experiences with different temperatures, pressures, and lights. So this was a really great way to unwind from like a busy port day or escape for me time after a nice massage. And then after that, I would sneak on the Wish. I would sneak into the Rose Lounge and sip on some of the most beautiful cocktails you've ever laid your eyes on. So lots of places to escape for adults while your kiddos are at the club, or things to do together. There's just so much to do.
I know it's absolutely amazing. I'm sitting here getting chills thinking back about it. And unless you've experienced it, it's hard for you and I to actually get that point across. You just have to experience it. I can remember that first day at the sail away party with my granddaughter up on my shoulders, and we're listening to the music and hearing them play that "When You Wish Upon a Star" as we're sailing away. And it's a good thing I had my sunglasses on because I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And just as you said, it's not just for kids. There's all kinds of folks there that go on board these ships as couples to just enjoy it. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Even weddings take place on Disney
Yeah.
ships. People will host a wedding and a wedding party. I mean, I hear you. I'm over here getting goosebumps just thinking about that horn blowing,
Yeah.
and yeah, just the nostalgia that it evokes and the sentiment. It truly is timeless and really does take us as adults back to childhood. And what a sweet place to
Yeah.
be.
Now, when I think about the onboard entertainment, two of the favorite things that we really, really enjoyed, and it was interactive, were the theater shows, which are just absolutely amazing, and of course, Pirate Night. How about you?
Yeah, oh man, those are fantastic choices for a top 2.
Mm.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, those are definitely a crowd favorite. I think that for me, I am a bit of a foodie, and so one of my top 2 experiences would have to be Remy on board the Dream. So, this is a French style, adults only restaurant, often featuring more than one Michelin star chef and their 5-course menus. So it's truly an experience just sitting in this beautiful restaurant, watching the sun go down as you savor these exquisite bites of food, beautifully displayed on the perfect vessel. so, um, I was there with my mom, and we were able to choose from a French or an American menu. And then on top of that, we were able to choose from a mocktail, cocktail, or wine pairing for each course. And then to add to the authenticity of it, the waiters were all French. So I was able to practice a little le français along the way. Not well, but did
Yeah.
anyway. And they were tolerant of my efforts. So there's just so many surprises in this beautiful experience that I just don't want to ruin it
No,
for first time
exactly,
guests.
exactly. We
But this
can't
was
we
by
can't give
far
away everything.
exactly. It was by far one of my favorite highlights
Yeah.
of the cruise. The Wish and the Treasure have a similar restaurant called Enchanté. It'll be the same experience, but this was by far
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. And then outside of being a foodie, I think I just really loved the pool deck. So you can spend all day on the pool deck because you can jump from pool to splash pad to slides to the first roller coaster at sea known as the Aqueduct, now Aqua Mouse.
Yeah.
It's really fun. You go through these tunnels, but in the tunnels, there's still a Disney story being told, animation throughout, and you're getting splashed the whole way. You're on an inner tube, and it's just a fun ride. You go around the entire pool deck of the ship, and so you get to see all the other guests, and they get to see you. It's a lot of fun, and then It's also right next to a big sun deck, and on that sun deck is funnel vision, and that is where Disney movies are being played throughout the day and night. So you can just sit and relax and watch a movie if you need to take a break from the pools. There's also the quick service eateries right there, which is like a vintage boardwalk. It's just so precious. Lots of unlimited things there. So the soda fountains are there. The unlimited soft serve ice cream is there. It's conveniently located to lots of food. So you can just spend a whole day on the pool deck. So that was another favorite of ours.
Fantastic. Now, Mindy, for folks that are considering whether they're going to do a Disney cruise or perhaps go to one of the Disney parks. Now, I might be giving away my age a little bit here, but it's been 52 years since I've been to Disney World. Now,
Okay.
when I compare those two, hands down, in my view, a Disney cruise is a much more up close and personal experience when it comes to meeting the characters and interacting with them. Would you agree with that?
I do. And I also have to say, there's no way that it's been 52 years since you've been to a park. You're not that old, Ken. So
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment.
yes, let's start there. Okay, but yes, you really hit the nail on the head here with a distinction between the parks and the cruise.
Yeah.
So we're actually headed to Disney World next weekend for the holiday parties, but we do try to take a strategic approach to the parks, the theme parks, trying to avoid crowds and plan our days and our schedules and getting in that time with the characters, or the things we want to do and ride, places we want to eat. But now, with all that being said, I never balk at the idea of combining a park trip with a cruise. So a lot of cruises leave from Port Canaveral, Orlando. So the Disney Cruise Line shuttle can take you from any Disney World resort hotel to the Port Canaveral. So it's a great way to unwind after a visit to the park.
Yeah.
So I never balk at that idea. But as far as like getting a more intimate experience, that is definitely true with the cruise. So characters can not only be seen walking around the ship at random, but they're also at scheduled locations throughout the day and night throughout the ship. So you can find where they're going to be, when they're going to be, on your navigator app, or just walk around the ship and you're going to bump into them.
Yeah.
So lots of candid moments and opportunities to get professional shots as well. And then the Oceaneer Club they're always going to be able to meet and greet lots of characters there. But then on top of that, there's special events that you can attend as well, like the Royal Gathering, where you can meet all of the princesses, which we love to do, Olaf's Royal Picnic with the Frozen characters, and then other offerings that DCL has to ensure a magical character encounter is themed cruises, like Marvel Day at Sea, where you can meet all of your favorite superheroes, Pixar Day at Sea, where you can meet the likes of the Toy Story, Buzz and Woody, the Monsters Inc. characters. And then you can also do Halloween on the High Seas or Very Merry Time Christmas cruises. And it doesn't get better than combining the magic of Disney with the magic of Christmas. So there is ample opportunity to meet the characters, and definitely a more small scale and intimate scale on the cruises.
So let me back you up there just for a minute. So you're saying they actually have theme cruises, which will give you a greater exposure to the people in the Marvel universe. That's how that works.
Yeah, yes. A lot of the newer ships are having a Marvel themed room in the Oceaneer Club.
Yeah.
So they get to turn themselves into a superhero. But if you choose a themed cruise, such as the Marvel Day at Sea, there's going to be a day where all these characters come to life on the ship, throughout the ship. There's special activities, special meet and greets with Spider-Man, Captain America, all of those Marvel characters that you know and love. And it's an extra special opportunity, an extra special day to interact with these characters.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So we've mentioned the Oceaneers Club a couple of times while we've been talking here this morning. Our granddaughter, she spent a lot of time there as well, and she loved it every minute of it, allowing mom, as I said earlier, some more me time. So Belle at that time was 4. What's available for the small fry and the tweens and teens? Is it all the same, or how does that work?
There are different clubs
Yeah.
for different age ranges. The Oceaneer Club probably gets a lot of attention just because I would say that's a big starter age range for Disney cruisers.
Yeah.
So that ranges from the ages of 4 to 10. All of them are very expansive spaces, but the Oceaneer Club combines with the Oceaneer Lab. So it's very expansive. And they have everything from the Star Wars Millennium Falcon simulator to visits from toy soldiers to Andy's room from the Toy Story and just so much more. They can make crafts. The
Yeah.
activities are amazing. And then from there, the tweens, which are ages 11 to 14, they have their own space at the Edge Club. And then the teens from 15 to 18, they hang out in the Vibe Club. So the spaces themselves are super inviting for the different age groups. But on top of that, the Disney counselors are super creative and energetic and keep all of these kids entertained and on their toes, having tons of fun. So lots of games, interactive stations, and, even like calm stations where, you can just relax, maybe have a nap, maybe just rest, maybe just listen to music, watch a movie. There's just all sorts of fun to be had there. One of the things we experienced on the Dream during the pirate party was a flash mob by the Vibe Kids.
All
And
right.
that was yeah, it was really epic. I
Yeah.
was really impressed with those teenagers getting out there and putting on a show. So that was really fun. And then on the Dream and Fantasy, the teens actually have their own pool area,
Yeah.
and that's pretty incredible. So that's a good reason to choose that ship if you have teenagers. And then last but not least, there is the Small World Nursery for 3 and under, and it is a very sweet little place. Lots of cribs. It's a little darker, not as bright, but they do have some brighter play areas as well. Mickey and Minnie do frequent this area along with some other sweet characters. We just love the peace of mind that we get taking our children to the kids clubs on the Disney ships. And the last thing I'll say for little ones is I don't want to forget the Bibbidi Boppity Boutique. So you can always take your little ones here to get transformed into little princesses and princesses,
I
princes
forgot
and
that.
princesses.
I forgot
Yes,
that. Yes. Yes.
and
We did that.
you did?
Oh,
Okay, good.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they even offer, transforming your child into a pirate on Pirates Night.
Yeah.
So it's such a fun and special event, and the whole cruise is just so thoughtful. Every event is thought out and just magic sprinkled everywhere, pixie dust.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, most of the Disney ships at I think this time of year, beginning this time of year, are sailing out of Florida, so they almost always have a stop at their private island, Castaway Key. That
Yes.
was just absolutely amazing. How did you find it?
I loved Castaway Key. It is a private island
Mhm.
owned by
Yep.
Disney, and it does act as one of the main ports on the Caribbean itineraries. But Disney just added to their private island collection this year, and they opened Disney's Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. So that's really exciting to have. They have itineraries that just stop at the private islands. So that's really nice if you just want to really relax. What makes these islands so special, what we loved, is that when we were at Castaway Key, we were the only ship there. So we didn't have to contend with any other ships full of passengers. It's only Disney ships that are allowed there. So they are filled with pristine beaches. And then, of course, the premium Disney services and amenities are littered throughout the island. So we were able to easily rent bikes. We rode around the island on the beautiful trails. We rented water equipment, enjoyed the beach and water slides. There's a splash pad. And then on top of all of that, the food on the island is included because it is Disney's private island. There's also opportunities there to interact with characters. There's special character meet and greets like Captain Jack Sparrow and then other characters who come ashore to welcome you.
Yeah.
But there is also opportunity to just truly relax here. There are cabanas that you can rent with like a concierge service there as well. And there's adult only spots on the island as well. So don't feel like you're going to be, if you're going on a cruise as adults, as a couple, you can truly get away if that's what you prefer to do. But these islands are truly a little slice of paradise in the Caribbean.
It's just amazing. You talk about the opportunities for character meet and greets and the randomness of it sometimes. It all contributes to these special moments. Like
Yes.
there's just so many fantastic things that you can do. So, Mindy,
Yes.
would you have any special advice for folks? They've decided on a Disney cruise and they're trying to decide which ship. Do you have any special advice on which one that you would choose?
I think honestly, what I would choose by would be the itinerary. I think selecting based on where you want to go
Okay.
is going to be the most important thing because I think no matter which Disney ship you cruise on, you're going to be pleased. I think that all of the ships have equally wonderful amenities and service, and you're going to be pleased no matter which ship you first sail on or next sail on. I think that the easy choice is just choosing based on itinerary and dates, because you're never going to be disappointed by any of the Disney ships.
Right. You know, Mindy, as I've always said, Disney cruises are for the young and the young at heart. They truly do bring the magic, and you and I've spent a lot of time talking about that today. You know, as I think back about all those special moments, you know, they just live on and on and on, like a random greeting. And it's not just for the kids. Like you'll meet those characters in the hallway, and they'll make of your granddaughter, or they'll make of your son. But it's also about you, because one of my favorite memories being on the Disney Magic was getting a peck on the cheek from Daisy Duck in the elevator.
Aw.
You know, I'm gonna always remember that, right? It's just amazing
Yeah.
little things like that. How about you? Any special moments?
Yes, actually, during a live theater production on The Dream, we had a magical moment encounter. So there are opportunities during the live theater
Yeah.
shows to participate in the show on stage. And my son was chosen to play as the human Chip. So in the Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
production. So at the end, when Mrs. Potts is unveiled as a human, they unveil little Chip on the side of the stage, and she yells Chip, and then Chip goes running to hug his mama, and it is the most heartwarming
Yeah.
scene of
Yeah.
the entire play,
Yeah.
and my son got to play the role of Chip, and it was truly magical, and
Yeah.
we are gonna treasure that forever, to the point that, you know, we purchased for him on board a little Beauty and the Beast figurine set, and it's in his room, and we'll just never forget that magical moment, and we have the video to cherish forever. It was, I mean, they really go above and beyond to make every passenger feel like they're the only passenger on board.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
so applaud Disney for
Yeah. No.
the level of service there.
Exactly. Exactly. Like it's just I can't say enough good. It's just amazing. Mindy, this has been great. Is there anything else you would like the folks and the listeners to know about Disney Cruise Lines before we wrap up?
Gosh, I think that, you know, it's important to know that once you sail Disney, you'll definitely be back. It's impossible not to want to go back, and it's just they really melt your heart. Take advantage when you are on board. You can secure a placeholder for your next sailing
Yep.
at a 10% discount. So take advantage of that while you are on board.
That's a good saving.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's rare with Disney to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
any savings, and that is a great opportunity.
No, it absolutely is. Well, Mindy, this is great. If folks wanted to reach out to you about a possible Disney cruise or another vacation, how would they do that?
Absolutely. So, our website is www.wheelsuptravelco.com. And from there, you can click on my profile to set up a free consultation, or you can find my email, which is Mindy at wheelsuptravelco.com. And my phone number is 989-295-0471. And of course, I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Perfect. I'll leave that information in the description for those folks that may like to reach out. But Mindy, as always, one of the favorite things that I enjoy here, because I get to interview such wonderful travel advisors, is I get to live vicariously through your travels. So I have to know, where are you off to next?
Well, of course, we're going to be cruising on the new Disney Treasure soon. But before that, I'll actually be headed to Vienna, Austria for the Oster River Cruise Expo, where I'll be staying on Riverside and sailing with Tauk. So I'll be excited to delineate the differences between those cruise lines and experience them as well.
Two great luxury river cruise lines. I'll be interested to see your thoughts on it. We'll have to have you back. How does that sound?
That would be fantastic. Thank you so much, Ken.
All right. Well, that's perfect, Mindy. With that, I'm going to just wish you safe and happy travels on all your future destinations and cruises. May the wind always be at your back, and I hope to see you on the Lido deck of a Disney ship sometime in the future.
Yes, and as Mickey would say, see you real soon.
Take care.
Thank you,
Right.
Ken.
And that about wraps it up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guest, Mindy Baker of Wheels Up Travel Co. If you'd like to reach out to Mindy, I'll leave her contact information in the description. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can simply send a question to questions@realtravelexperts.com. Visit our website, realtravelexperts.com, or simply leave a comment. We always respond. And as always, if you enjoyed this show, a like, subscribe, share, and a ring of the bell is certainly appreciated and helps other folks just like you to find our channel. So until next time, happy travels.